What's up, my XRP brothers from another mother and my cute XRP sisters? This is Rob with the Rob 007 channel coming to you from beautiful Venice Island. Absolutely gorgeous day down at the beach. 5 out of 5. Loving this weather. Title of this episode is XRP Orient Express is about to leave the station, and that spot XRP ETF is on the launch pad. Watch this episode to the end. I got a fiery one for you guys this afternoon. And thank you as always. We're only about now 200 subs away from 7,000 subscribers on this channel. Appreciate each and every one of you. But indeed, if you are new to this channel, if you would hit the subscribe button to subscribe, the bell for notification, that like button, tap it, slap it, whatever you are feeling for a Taco Tuesday. And if you do Twitter, follow me at Rob XRP 007 on Twitter. Love my XRP Twitter family. And a shout out to Laura up in beautiful North Carolina. Yeah, it was, she and Tim were down at the beach on beautiful Holden Beach, and she sent me a picture of the beach, said 5 out of 5. She's doing some exciting stuff I'll be talking about on this channel for after wind moon, and then you're thinking of your next chess move. Well, we got a thing or two, so we'll be talking about that in the future. And also shout out to Eric up in beautiful North Carolina as well. And I tell you what, it's absolutely amazing. Our XRP journey is on the exact same time frame. Being I got XRP in November of 2020. I'll never forget it, because 2 days later after I bought up, I woke up and I saw this massive green candle, like 42% on the phone, and I had to screen capture it. But anyway, our paths are so similar, and what a journey it has been. Congratulations on that bag that you have, Eric. And also a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This channel is for educational entertainment purposes only. And yes, and I'm feeling really fired up today. I'm sporting my XRP cufflinks this afternoon. And then, yes, I have my conversation piece for the next bar I lay my hat on. Talk about the cat that ate the mouse, or it could be the cat that ate the canary. You guys will be feeling it by the end of this week, and I'm going to get down right into it. And don't forget about the fine folks at iTrustCapital. They're my #1 place to custody. In my top 3, again, 0 fees on the custody, 1% on the trade fees. They give you a $100 signing bonus when you open up an account. And that ROI is coming for them for your XRP too as well. That is really, really exciting. You have to put in the promo code Rob 007 and when you click on the link. And the fun at Kraken's just got twice as fun. You know, now they doubled it. When you open up a Kraken account, they give you $150 for a signing bonus. And the link is in the description. Do your iTrust, do your Kraken. That's $250 left on the money left on the table, and your chicks for free. And also the fine folks at Caleb and Brown. I'm going to be reaching out to them, get the latest and greatest and update from them. Yes, I am moving some XRP over to Caleb and Brown this afternoon as we speak. Also, my top 3 for custody. They have 0 custody fees. You can pick up the phone, get a brokerage. They got an account at office opened up in Fort Lauderdale, doing so many exciting stuff. So the link is in the description. Tell them that Rob sent you. Last but not least, if you're looking for ROI on that XRP OMG, just email me your name and number and a good time to call. The email's in the description. Be leery of the imposters on this channel. And also, when you go this route, you get the highest level of institutional grade custody. I sleep so well at night and going that route. In the comments, Da Vinci says $500 overnight. He says, I'm going to take some of that and pay off my house and let the rest ride till we hit 10,000 per XRP. I like how you think. And somewhere in there written, I think, is a bigger boat. And also, currently we have Bitcoin trading at 115. It's flat on the 24-hour, and XRP at $2.67 flat. But I just got word that we're tanking like literally 60 seconds ago. And Bank XRP says news is nonstop this month, is in the comments over on Twitter. He said, exciting times, Mr. Bond. Indeed. Thank you so much. I look forward to hopefully meeting you someday. We got to try to connect. So if you haven't followed me, maybe you can give me a follow and then I can DM. In the comments, Securitize. This is from Remy Relief. Shout out to you, Remy. He says Securitize will be tokenizing SPAC. And it says, and Securitize is actually merging with Cantor Equities Partners. And so they're going to be doing that IPO. So exciting, with a $1.25 billion valuation going public. So, and Remy goes on to say that $1,000 XRP is just peanuts. And I 100% concur, Remy. You know, for the longest time, I used to always say on my channel, I'd say, you know, $100 XRP is simply batting practice. And now I have upped the ante, thinking that $1,000 XRP is going to be batting practice when you understand all the world's money. We'll be talking about that in this episode too. Man, we got so much stuff exciting, like it's go time right now. What am I talking about? We got rate cuts tomorrow. 98% chance on PolySign that we'll get a quarter basis point. However, I did just now watch a contrarian video, quite contrarian, saying that we will get no rate cuts, and that's due to the shutdown, and that will tank the markets and then some. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, or could we see even in something higher? I doubt it. I don't think I'm expecting a half a basis point now. Watch your guru says just in from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. The China Trump-China Xi Jinping meeting is in Thursday in Korea. So exciting. I did watch some episodes on that, how that is lining up as far as the deal he is making, the chess moves he's making going into that. So he's doing this Asian tour. He was over in Japan today, super bullish and exciting. So will that lead to a deal with China? Let's hope so. And then Friday, let the celebration and the bubbly pop and begin. Expecting that Ripple Bank license no later than this Friday. Could happen actually a tad earlier. And that Fed master account. And then you can, again, yes, see the biggest bull run in history start. This banking license is just, and I actually think this is key. This is key before things, like even before they would start using it. I think they want this Ripple banking license in play. And also, it leads me to this Wednesday. Here we are, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Leave it to David Schwartz. Will we get Halloween? It's Halloween, but it feels like Christmas. Comment down below. I want to know what you guys think. I do know I'll be talking about something that will definitely make it feel like Christmas. And if you're watching, and yes, and I'll be watching this like an absolute hawk. This is from the Todd report from 2 days ago, talking about how XRP could absolutely run out on the exchanges beginning on the 30th, which is Thursday, and then they'd be all out by November 22nd, the ISO 222 migration full adoption date. And yes, I'm actually fast and furious moving a lot of my XRP off of the exchanges. And even though a lot of them, I really like the exchanges, I'm just going to put it in a little safer spot, in my humble opinion, not financial advice. Credit is where credit is due. Give credit where credit is due. This is from Zach Rector. He put this out maybe about 30 minutes ago, talking about how the SEC site reflects all XRP ETFs with that the S1 filing, and apparently there's like a 20-day deadline before those automatically go live. We do know that the Solana one went live, and also per Rob of the Rob report, I'll get this ahead, the HBAR one went live, right? So anyway, and if this is correct, then we should have our XRP ETFs go live by the end of this week, all 7 of them. This is so what I've been waiting for literally just like for the last 6 months, because understanding what it's going to do, creating that supply shock on the exchanges. And when you combine that, we had this like perfect thing. You got the ETF filings, you got the G Treasury, you got Evernorth, and then you have Ripple Prime connected to the Prime, to the hidden road with all those bank connections. So it's just looking magnificent. But these ETFs is where the fun begins. That's where we can, in earnest, start to see that we're just going to start to march up between $5, $10, $20, $50, and $100 if Jay Claver's predictions are correct. And so this has me so excited. I cannot begin to tell you. I've been waiting for like 5 years for this to happen. Comment down below. I'm so excited about that. And are you primed? Yes, Brad Garlinghouse, he's primed, talking about the Ripple Prime. And you know what? That spigot, I'm waiting for that spigot to be turned on any day. I think the bank license has to come first, but after the bank license, let's say we get that this Friday, any day we may get an announcement, and we'll see that Ripple is using Ripple Prime for the movement of XRP. Could it happen? Comment down below. I want to know what you guys think. And I don't care, because we're going to have those beautiful ETFs. So yes, we got some Thailand money coming. So Rob Cunningham, and actually I was trying to find a gift. I was trying to find a gift of the James Bond grotto. And if you guys know where it is, yes, it is in Thailand. My executive producer got to visit it about 2 years ago. Rob Cunningham, shout out to you, Rob. Going to try to tag up with your brother. It says, again, just a beautiful video that's about 10 minutes long. It's up on Twitter if you want to check him out. He goes by The Cool Show. That is KUHL up on Twitter, talking about how Ripple is planning to become the new Federal Reserve. I 100% believe it. It goes right up there. And then we get to see what kind of deal that the Mar-a-Lago thing ain't, because it's not if they did one. To me, not financial advice, they did one. And I absolutely believe it has everything to do with that escrow, if not all of it, a part of it going to the Treasury. So XRP guy says, this is a lot of fun thinking about, always talk about, it's not if but when XRP will reclaim its spot in the #1 position. Yes, for a brief period of time, it was ranked higher. It was ranked #1, outranking Bitcoin. If you don't know it, don't believe it, it's true. But for XRP to pass Ethereum, it would be $9.07. And for it to pass, in order for it to pass up and hit the #1 spot and dethrone Bitcoin, you want to take a guess? Probably thinking a really, really large number. Actually, not as much as I thought it would be, $41.08. And the XRP guy goes on to say, says XRP about to break $3. He says next week will be historic. And then he says Bitcoin, he says it's going to go to 0. So yeah, I think some Bitcoin maxis wouldn't be too happy with that one. In the Truman Mill, this is from Pumpius. He says next Fed chair could be extremely close to Ripple. Can you say Brad Garlinghouse? Well, that's what Brewmaster Brent was thinking as of yesterday, thinking about how he does have his degree is he's an economist for an MBA that he got from Harvard Law. All right, Rob report. I mean, from Harvard. He got it from Harvard. It's where he got his MBA. So from the Rob report, this is HBAR again. ETF went live today, and again, those XRP spot ETFs. See, by the end of the week, it looks like we're going to get them by the week. Buckle up. All right, I'm going to get some champagne out for that. I mean, seriously, for all 7 ETFs, it's not if or when, how fast we rock it up to a $5 and a $10 XRP. I did say when XRP did hit $10, I'd bring out Jack Sparrow on the channel. So yeah, I got them all queued up. So, and Steph is all working no place. It makes Jack a dull boy. Steph is Crypto says White House is going to be representing, have a representative at Ripple Swell November 4th and 5th, right around the corner. And yes, Kraken will also have someone speaking at that event as well. Again, love the folks at Kraken. They are always attending all this stuff that's going on with passage of law and with up in DC, helping us out in this space. Quote of the day from the Tukrium CEO. He says, Ripple's building a new Wall Street, rewriting how global finance works. Yes, and he goes on to say, think about it. Wall Street trade settled in seconds, not days, or T1, T2, 24/7 globally. It's amazing to be able to witness history like this. It's something that only happens like every 100 years. In the breaking news, Ripple partners with Intermex. Well, the key's in that word MEX for cross-border payments. They actually do cross-border moving money in between the Latin countries and the Caribbean. Oh, you got me dreaming of that bigger boat now. Breaking news, a little company that you might know, that's called IBM, just announced cold storage for digital assets. With who? Can you say Medico? Too much winning. Poolside Chad says trillions in real world asset tokenization. He says no. He says, I say quadrillion. Cites an estimated tokenized growth through 2033, which is put out by Ripple, by the way. And look where tokenization is going to be happening. Absolutely amazing. So many different areas that you think. I think about the ones that we don't really kind of mention, like art. So diamonds, oil. But you got funds, you got fixed income, you got equities, you got real estate, you got deposits, you got stable coins, you got lending and credit. You have treasury and liquidity, derivatives and alternative investments like hedge fund. Can you say all the money? And also, Steph is Crypto, and this is worth repeating. when I think about like, oh, we're at 260-ish, and you're thinking, God, the end of the month's just on Friday. Worth repeating, he thinks that XRP could fly to $12 on one green candle overnight. Could it happen? Absolutely could, if we get those 7 spot ETFs and a little thing called FOMO. And Digital Perspective, shout out to you, Brad. Did a little dig down with Grok about, concerning that Newsmax, what I mentioned in the Newsmax little piece yesterday, saying how XRP could actually wipe out the debt. Well, Brad got busy with Grok and said, what would the price of XRP have to be if that happened? Can you say $350 per XRP? Wow, we still might beating XRP hard. Things could get hot in the kitchen starting on Saturday, and they really could. We got so much going. We got a lot of fluid moment with so many things going around the globe. Well, it could get hot in the kitchen. What are you talking about? We're talking about food stamps on Saturday, November 1st. They run out of money for that, and you're talking about 42 million people on food stamps in this country. Talk about pressure to reopen the government at that point. The pressure is going to be a pressure cooker. Let's hope it's sooner than later. I'm ready to get this nonsense done. Crypto Sensei, November 3rd. He's got a moon date confirmed. Did a whole episode on it, but I'll just cut to the chase. I think it comes down to a post on Alex Jones up on Twitter. Interviewed a young man talking about how on November 3rd, he thinks a black swan, a Black Monday market crash could occur on November 3rd. And this was the gentleman playing the contrarian, saying no rate cuts. And this with the food stamps imploding. And it says, well, we could have a crash on that day. And would that return to a liquidity crisis, in which case we need a flip the switch moment? Comment down below, see what you think. We've talked about that at length. And the best for last, as we wrap up this episode, none other than Jake Claver up on X. It's talking about, with the shutdown lasting as long as it has, we are in what day? I lost count, 26, something like that. Anyway, with that just dragging on like this, he thinks, well, he's having to potentially move his goalpost for when he thinks that we have a quote-unquote liquidity crisis and banks start using it. He's actually pushed it from the end of the year to the end of Q1. That's bad news, and that's bad news for him. Sounds like he'll owe somebody a really big lunch, because he did have a massive bet that it would be 750 by the end of the year. But that's the bad news. The good news is he has upped the ante. His minimum target that he has by the end of Q1, and by the way, that coincides with my drop dead latest date for XRP to start being used for quote-unquote large wholesale payments. The most beautiful 3 words put together. His target, can you say 1,500 per XRP by the end of March? That's definitely a bigger boat. Mine, I'm sticking with a minimum $500 by the end of Q1. That'll do it for me. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.